good GP starting build for your team. Very simple. Like the video, subscribe, ta-ta, because no chance you're going to watch any longer than this. But just comment. I watched the first 10 seconds. I'm not a virgin. There we go. That's all I want to read, right? Everyone tell me you're not virgins. That's all I want to hear. Anyway, I tried to make a new base team. Turns out you can't just create a team and just have no team and just have it empty. So we have to build the team, which I'm going to. What I'm going to do is show you a few scenarios, but a few exceptions as well. My Alexa might have just gone off. I don't want to talk in this time of the night because it's like 6 AM. I really should go to bed, but I'm making content for you little virgins. So if you're not a virgin, prove me wrong. Comment, tell me I'm not a virgin. You probably are. I'm gonna stop. That's not funny. It's really not funny. I'm gonna make a few exceptions, right? Because Bellingham's free currently, and I'm gonna keep players on the pitch on here that I would still use anyway, like Musiala. I'd still buy his free version and use him. Salah's getting binned off. Binned off. What have I just done? Cancelo. I'm just whacking free players on here at this point. Just imagine Dida's Neuer. Okay? Get Neuer. Is he great? Honestly, I don't know. I've never tried him, but he looks better than Courtois as a starting card. So, okay, let me actually sort out the bench and stuff now. Okay, he will be starting. We're going to be using is he actually an all? No, because he's a box to box. Are they the same players? I don't know. Is that racist? They have the same name. That's not offensive, is it, for me to guess that? They have the same name. I've never just compared the two pictures. I wouldn't know, if you want me to be perfectly honest. So, if that's offensive, I don't know, suck an egg. The exceptions will be the free players that are around currently. Don't miss them. Don't miss them. Honestly, do not miss them. If you don't play the game, just jump on. Right? These are not funny videos. These are not entertaining videos. I don't know why I'm doing them. Nobody's watching this shit. Nobody actually cares. No one cares. Right? Am I wrong? No? Okay. Good chat. We're going to fuck off Dida. No, we can't. We need at least a goalkeeper. This is how the team probably would look. Is this how I'd do it? I would say this is how I would have it. I would switch these two around. Just because he doesn't even have good passing. Man, he is ass. Really is ass. This is how I would have it. This would be my team. I would say. This would be my team. Now the reason for this is obvious. Goalkeeper is tall. Good stats. Good goalkeeper 1 and 2. Easy enough. You've got a destroyer. You've got a build up. So one sits back. One goes up. Cool. Kamara's great on the pitch because if you want to add more defenders, you want to go 5 at the back, you want to switch it up and go 3 at the back and put Kyle Walker as a midfielder, fuck Timber up somewhere else, you can do that. You want to go again, you can go 5 at the back, you can have Timber on the wide. Is he great on the wide? Not perfect, but he's better than nothing on the wide. I do. There you go. Or have a left back on the bench. Just kind of imagine Cancelo. Cancelo can also play left and right back, so could just buy Cancelo, but I probably wouldn't. Maybe just buy a standard. I don't remember what other card. Let me organise this bench so we can talk. Defence down here. Up there. Perfect. Perfect. I think this is great. You can have, obviously, Martinez, a standard card. Just imagine it's his standard card. Because I still ended up using his standard card before I got that card anyway, so. And again, Neymar, I think he's currently still free. Hopefully. If he's not, maybe don't worry about him. It's not that deep. Yeah? Yeah, I'd say it's not that deep. Because you've got him. He's your B-Tech Neymar. Especially considering he's also a super sub. So, you can whack him in as your second striker. In part of Heung-Min Son. Or if you need to swap Martinez out because he's not having a good game. Because sometimes he has his off games where he's just unable to get the ball. Or even get the ball near to the back of the net. Or even get shots on. But in that case, I'd probably switch them around and then I'd pop Mertens in as your sub. But Mbappe's your king. Always have him starting. Unless, obviously, his stats say otherwise. His form says otherwise. Ronaldo. I've built him quite well. Very good at positioning. Very good finishing. Very good shot power. Reasonable dribbling and tight possession. Can hit the ball. Can pass the ball. All of that fun stuff. His stats aren't... They're not that important. I'd probably start off as well, to be honest, with Bellingham on the field instead of Kante. The reason for that is Bellingham is a bit more dominant at the beginning due to his height and strength. He wins the ball with his head. He can run, he can pass, he can shoot. He can actually shoot better than Kante. So, realistically, as an attacking mid, that's how you want it. And then come into the last bit of the second half. Sub Kante on if you need an extra bit of defence. And honestly, you could honestly just whack him as your second striker. Whack him like this. And then just push Bellingham into defensive mid. Keep him as a central defensive midfielder. But just pull him back. And then add Kante on. This is sort of how the meta is, very narrow. And that's why I've used this formation as an example. But if you look at this, there's quite a lot of versatility here with the players that are on the bench and whatnot. You can go free at the back. Use these three defenders. Him as your middle defender. You can have Cancelo on in the right midfield mark. Because he's good in that position. And he will somewhat defend because he's got some defending skills. But he's good on the ball, good dribbler, and a good passer, which is fantastic, which is what you want for his position. You can obviously up his pace more. I just haven't maxed out his levels. The good thing is with him is then you can put an individual instruction on, whack a deep line on him, and that'll force him to come back and defend, and that 3 at the back then becomes a 4 at the back. And using Kamara as an anchor man, he automatically pulls back anyway. So that 3 at the back then becomes a 5 at the back on the defence. Which is fantastic. Closes up the lanes. If you're going to use 5 at the back, again, I'd use these 3 as your main. You'd get Wan-Bissaka on one side, the left back, Pavard. I already don't remember what the 5 at the back would look like. Usually in game, is the sub-tactica thing here. Yes, there we go, brilliant. Usually in game, this is what I'd do. I'd pull Declan Rice in because he is a destroyer. And usually I don't play with both the destroyer and the anchorman on the pitch because I like to play a bit more aggressive. But if you're first starting off as the game, this formation, very simple, very effective, because then you could pull Kamara back instead, leave Declan Rice in defensive mid, move Bellingham into central mid where Kamara is. Young Min Son can be an attacking midfielder, and if you can't play in that position, you can just push him up the field to a second striker and leave your two strikers up there. And that way you've still got a very well-rounded team. No one's weak in any positions because Declan Rice is still going to have his good defending and his good player skills and his destroyer trait, which is good for a centre-back anyway. Perfect. Very simple, very easy, GP only team that you can use. You see the bench, you've got destroyers here. I prefer destroyers in the centre-back positions. Koulibaly was my first choice instead of Arejo, just because of how much cheaper he was. And obviously, he lacks the unwavering form. He's got all the skills that you need. He's got the height, slightly lacks the pace, but other than that, a near perfect defender. Pepe I used because he just feels like a monster on the pitch because of his strength and his defensive capability. He feels like a monster. I don't know if he still does, but again, with gamesmanship as a centre back, if he gets in a little tussle, he's more likely to get the free kick. So he's more likely to get that ball back in more ways than one. Fantastic player. Barella can straight up swap him to any of these players. Him being a box to box, of course, you don't really want to be adjusting these two unless it's later in the second half and you need to be getting more attacking. In which case, I'd probably still keep Kamara on over Declan Rice because Kamara is the more versatile and defensive-minded player. Swap him out for Barella, have one defensive mid, change it around so Bellingham, and you've got Barella here with Kamara here. Push Bellingham up a little bit more. Pop Bellingham here, Barella here, sorry. Done. You've now got yourself a more versatile midfield. Douglas Luiz, again, also very good. Lacks the speed, feels faster in game, but he's a good central midfielder, box to box central midfielder like Barella. Barella's obviously your better option, but try Douglas Luiz out. He's cheap and honestly he's worth it because he's very different. I feel like he's very different. Not very good at getting his head to the ball, but he plays nice and he does intercept the ball and he is quick when he needs to be. Maybe that's due to his height, I'm not sure. Musiala, great for a number of reasons. The game gets tiresome. What the fuck do I do? Time to put my super subs on. Okay. Martinez isn't having a good game. Or either three of these aren't having a good game. I never really sub off Mbappe, regardless how bad he's doing. If I'm being honest, what I usually do is I normally just pull him out a little bit, change his position up, pull him into a different position, try him out somewhere else, try something a bit more special. But more often than not, I'll put Tal on. Son usually doesn't feel quick, so we very much just... Okay, so we've got to pull these back. Pull these back, switch these two around, pop him. Still. There you go, very defensive line there. But this just allows more versatility. I actually would just do this. Just to create that diamond in the middle. Kind of covers more gaps. And then just pull these over a little bit. And that's how I'd finish off the rest of the game. Because now, although we've got an attacking midfielder, so we've got less strikers in technically, so we're technically less likely to score and win the game. Musiala being in the middle of the pitch with his quick dribbling and his quick moves on the ball means he'll just run back, be in a position to get the ball or to take the ball. He has the pace to run, or the passing ability to pass it through, or the ability to see someone making a run from the midfield, come on to it so he can get himself into a better attacking position. Very versatile player. And then Tao is just your typical substitute for a striker. He's quick. He's going to have good finishing and good attacking awareness. And that's all there is to it with him. Again, the likes of Mertens and stuff, when do you use them, sorry. I personally use them. So say the game is going in a way where the players, the attackers, the midfielders can't seem to find any space because the defence is everywhere. My only solution in my head is to put on the likes of Neymar. Put on the likes of Messi when he's on the bench. Sometimes I swap him in and out. Don't really like the way he plays that much. He's not got a great card that I'd have. Anyway, I'll pop him on. And now I have someone who can dribble, who can really dribble, who's small, who's able to run through, accelerate through, pass the ball on with his one-touch passing abilities. As you can see, low lofted pass, super sub ability, gamesmanship, so he can win me the free kicks. He can finish with his long range curler and first time shots. Soul control and double touch is fantastic for him, so he can dribble around his players either just by standard left stick dribbling or by skill moves. So in that point, if it's Martinez who isn't the problem, because again, I pretty much play Mbappe for the full 90 just because of how versatile he is as a striker, how much I can just place him anywhere. If I decide to put a Ronaldo on, I'll just place him on the wing, pop Ronaldo in, and then there we go. It's more versatile. That stretches out the defence. Sometimes can be a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. It's all about reading the game. Mertens, pretty much the only reason I use him. And obviously being a super sub, you whack him in 60th, 70th minute. If you've really, really, really tried the defence, their defence, either you've started to find their defensive flaws, or their stamina is slowly starting to deplete. And if it is depleting, you have an opportunity to get by even more, or to gain a free kick even more with his gamesmanship trait, skill, sorry. Fantastic. That's everyone. You know, you've got 5 at the back, 4 at the back, 3 at the back. Fantastic. You've got 3 players only on this team. And as I said last season, I didn't attempt to go past Division 3, but I got to Division 3. I possibly could have gotten to Division 2 and further. So maybe I know what I'm on about. I don't really know the game too well, but I am trying to learn. If there's any advice you have, comment down below. But that's it. I think it's perfect. Just get Neuer instead of Courtois. Get them both. Really, 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 really easy to earn GP on this game. I've completed the Halloween thing. I didn't even realise how easy is that. I refuse to do this one. It's too long. It's too long. You can just press challenge. Holy shit. I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't even know you could just scroll down and press on this and it would give you all the tally of what you need to finish them all. I didn't know that until like yesterday. Life changing this is. Now I'm going to be able to complete these objectives so much easier. These ones are obviously not that, because these are like infinite, aren't they? I think. Are they infinite? They might not be infinite. They might not actually be infinite. But I suppose eventually you will finish them. And although they're all tiny money, they all add up. I'm getting carried away. That's it. That's it. Give it a try. Go offline. Do your events. Get your monies on your events. Get your GP up. If you enjoyed watching this video, like. If you didn't, dislike it, comment, tell me why. Tell me I'm boring. Just tell me something. Someone comment on the video, please. Anyway, ta-ta.